Hello everyone, this is Caesar. I am from Colombia. Let me show you where it is. In case you don't know or somebody doesn't know, it's in South America, north east, east of South America, but people get confused with other Colombias, which is the ones in the United States. The spelling is different. It's COLOM, but the spelling and in other parts of the world are with a U. Sometimes so they misspell sometimes the name. Like there is Columbia in South Carolina. There is a Columbia with an U also in Missouri. There is British Columbia, things like that. Anyway, so the purpose of this video is basically to talk about advertising on the internet and strategies to save money on the internet. So basically, one way to make money is to have a website and advertise your product or service, or products or services. In my case, I'm advertising many services and products. And to do that, I created or had somebody create. In this case, I had somebody create a website for me. I purchased the domain name, which is one of the first step. First step, purchase a domain name. You can go, for example, to a domain seller, and buy a domain name. First thing is to actually search for it. I just searched for google.com. In this case, of course, it's already taken. Some domain names get expired and then they get resold. So when you buy a domain name, you have to buy it every year or buy many years at a one or several years at a time. Okay, so what happens is that when it's lost, somebody doesn't renew it anymore, then it gets resold. And if it has never been purchased, then or is available, then you can buy it. These prices are I'm not sure if this says United States, so it may be US dollars, um, depending on how desirable a domain name is, and then the price. So some sells for tons of dollars or millions of dollars, whatever. So it's very important to buy a domain name and keep it. The way to keep it is to buy and renew the domain name for many years or have automatic renewal. In addition to the name, you need to have a hosting to be able to keep the information on the internet. So basically, hosting is having the files that contain the documents, images, and all that stuff, the web pages, on a computer server, excuse me, where they will hold it in there, and then when somebody visits the page, the domain name and the page, they will be able to see those images, pictures, and documents, or whatever else you have in there. So you can do a search for domain name, domain name hosting and domain name seller. So it's usually it's both. They sell you the domain and also provide the hosting. So if I do a search for hosting providers, then you get in this case I got the top 10. In this case it says that it's SiteGround, the top one with the best score, and then you look for things, features, and compare. In this case this one they offers 10 gigabytes of storage. This one gives you unlimited space, depending on how many files and how big and all that stuff, how many and how big. Then you will know how much you need. In this case, with the most, the better. Depending how many files and all that stuff. Some provide the SSL certificate, which is like a secure hosting, meaning that they are not going to contain, they are not going to, yeah, they're going to be safe. You're going to be safe. They're not going to get a virus or things like that. They provide many provide redirection, meaning that once you buy the domain name, if you don't want to buy the hosting because it's a monthly plan, hosting is, or unless you buy for the whole year, it's expensive because it adds up. Every month you have to pay, for example, $8, $7, $10, whatever, per month, and it's every month they have to pay hosting every month for years. So it adds up. The domain name is renewed once a year. It may be $10, $11, $13, $15, $17. Once a year, while hosting is every month. They have to pay a monthly fee. So the hosting could be $11. I mean, the domain name $11, and the hosting could be $8, but it's every month. So it's more expensive to have, the hosting is more expensive after a while. So that's when people go to like free hosting providers. Let's say if I go back here and I go to a free hosting, for example, if I go to this one, this page in particular, I got it through a free hosting. But the free hosting gives you the place where to put your files, but then they put their own domain name as part of the full address. So in this case, this is, for example, is my website, and then they add their own website to it. So when a visitor comes, they may notice that there is this is a free hosting provider or free hosting page. So that'll diminish the value of what they think about the website. That is not a major company. Okay, but there is masking, meaning that on masking, you can request that when there is forwarding, that it be masked. So they will see, instead of seeing Medellin real dot something else, it will say just medellinreal.com. Okay, problem with masking is that everything else will appear as Medellin Real, even if you go to other pages on the same website. It kind of makes the visitor confused. While on just regular hosting, you get just domain name, and because of there's no masking, when you change to another page somewhere else, it's not gonna always say Medellin Real here. It will just change to something else. For example, if I go to this page, then it's not gonna go to. It's gonna go to the correct page in here. It's not gonna go just to say Medellin Real all the time in here. And the design you are gonna need also, besides the hosting and domain name, you are going to need the website design. Somebody who's gonna make something for you that looks good when visitors come, and you can ask for special effects like a slideshow, things like that. This particular is like this goes to small windows, like this one goes to a small portion of the full page. So that's one particular design. But if you want to actually see the full page, then you can go to the home page and actually go to the actual full ad page. In regards to other features on your website, you can, for example, this is a real estate listing. Then you can ask for, as I said, slideshows where they will show you like the map, and they will show you the property. This is, as I said, a real estate listing of a house. This one in particular is located in Oahu, Hawaii. This is like 4 houses in one, because it has like four different living rooms, 4 kitchens, for everything. This is a sample of how you can make or have somebody make a website for you. It could be videos, it could be slideshows, any special effects you want, but there's a cost associated with that, having somebody make a page for you. And then you can have free advertising. You can have your own page on say Facebook, where you can advertise what you do. In this case, it's a real estate page on Facebook. You can also advertise or have your page for free on Instagram. So the options are endless. I will go back to this page. I can show you, for example, this is another free homemade page, a free hosting, where it has a contact page. Yes, a contact box where they can provide a name, email, phone number, and a message. This is better than actually having an email posted in your website, because reduces the spam. I don't think many people like to send your spam filling out this form, this input box many times. Well, so it's better to have an actual contact page instead of just an email address on your web. web page. And these are the ones on the free hosting, they work correctly. While if you have somebody to make you a contact page will be somewhat more difficult because it has to be made correctly. Let's say if I have this contact page, which is pretty nice. This one has some special effects, like for example, you can have tabs on it where they can do whatever they want to do. In this case, I changed it to just have email addresses on it and some other stuff in there because I'm basically using emails for that. But that's an option. You can either have some free contact page from a free website provider, or you can have somebody make you one and then have the contact through them. There is a website called Wix, and where they provide free hosting. So I think that's all for now. So I will make additional videos on that will appear on my if YouTube page. I have several videos in there, and then you will be able to see some more explanations about what I'm talking about. In the meantime, enjoy um, just your life. Try to be safe. I think that's all. Goodbye. Let's see if I can close this one. Goodbye.